Alrighty, everybody, welcome to another episode of I Never Met a Stranger I Didn't Like. And I got a very special guest here with me. I've got Susan Gebhart over here at 320 on Main. If you guys don't know where that's at, it's a very awesome event center here, right in the heart of downtown.
Yep.
This place holds a special part, like in my heart, my wife's heart. Like even though the stairs are a different direction now, it's still at the sound. Like I was telling you earlier, I was walking through here and the sound of it, I was like, oh my gosh, I miss it, because I used to run the venue that was here before.
Yeah.
And then it turned into a dance studio, and then you guys took it right after the dance studio, right? And then how long ago was that?
So we took the building in November of 2016 and opened for business as an event venue March 1st of 2017. And then the first wedding that we did after we opened was yours and Tavia's.
Yep, and that was actually March 11th. So you guys just celebrated your 7th anniversary here, and me and my wife celebrated our 7th anniversary yesterday. So it really is a special place. 7 years. I mean, like. How things gone through the 7 years? Like, have you just seen a tremendous growth? Have you have you seen from the community here?
Well, things have gone really well. And, of course, everybody walks into a business with a plan, and then along comes COVID.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right. And so we were parking along, and then with the advent of COVID, we had to literally close our doors for 2 months that year.
Nothing.
So being closed 2 months out of 12 was a challenge, but it was fine. We didn't have any super bad ill effects from that. I mean, we were sort of like even that year in terms of growth. We didn't grow any, but at least we were even. Most of the people that had to reschedule events during those 60 days, we did get them rescheduled. A few of them were outright cancellations, but So, but it was a challenge. We learned a lot from it. Changed the way we do business on a few things that we've still retained to this day. But it was all right. And so then very quickly you could tell that at the end of COVID, people were so anxious to have their life back. And to have fun back. And so things bounced back very quickly. And, for instance, last year, I did 290 events in here.
Wow.
And about the same the year before.
Now, people need to realize that there's 365 days a year. So just kind of let that set in your head for a second.
Right. There are a lot of days when I do 2 events in one day. Yep.
I've kind of been in that situation myself before with events, not weddings, parties, things like that, but with music venue, we was here and we would have shows. I literally one year did 297 shows itself that I was at, and some of them were twice a day. People don't realize how much work goes into running a venue, keeping it clean, keeping it maintained, all that stuff. Yeah. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot. And, I spent a long period of my life on the other side of that equation, being the client that would come into a venue. And so then to flip to the other side to be the person who's running the venue, that was a cool learning experience for me. Just a whole lot of stuff that, I felt like I had great insights from my previous job, but a lot to learn too.
Kind of flip the switch a little bit on that part, You're now not the consumer, but.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you say that you learned a little bit before, your job. What were you doing before you just started? Like doing it? Did it kind of correlate with what you're doing here, or like? Yeah,
it did. I've been a meeting and event planner for about 30 years. Okay. And so just previous to this, I worked for a company that was based in Texas. They did medical education programs for doctors all over the United States and all over the world. So I would work from an office here in my home, and then wherever the meeting was that I was doing, I would fly to wherever that was, do the meeting, and then when it was done, come back to Claremore. So I had the luxury of being able to work in flip-flops and shorts whenever I wanted to. And, then I'd put on work clothes and go to a meeting for 3 or 4 days and come home and,
back to the flip-flops.
Back to Claremore, America,
And, you said you went into a lot of places, so you got to see a lot of different things, a lot of different places, and you see, how different communities are and things like that. How does that compare to Claremore? What would you say is, the plus and minuses to some of the other things and things like that?
Well, it's really interesting. I've had the opportunity both to live other places, both in the United States and in Europe, and then to work there as well. And, what you grow up thinking that someplace else is oftentimes not what it's like.
Right.
And I think I'm one of those people that I had traveled around enough to know that I really do like home the best. And I have a much deeper and greater appreciation for home and all the good that it has.
Yeah.
So, I loved all the places I went. I lived in Germany for 4 years. I loved living there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was really young when I went there. I mean, I was 19.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're just
fresh married.
Ready to go. Right?
Absolutely. My husband was in the military. And
so military family. So that helped with making you guys move around a little bit too, right?
It did. We lived a lot of places inside the States too.
Yeah.
And, you learn very quickly to adjust and adapt and to make friends really quickly and lay down some roots really quickly. And, I always remember that when I got married, my father-in-law, who had been career military as well, he said to me, I got a very stern talking to about being a good military wife. And he said, hey, now you can be happy any place you take an ocean to be. So if you just decide you're going to be happy, you will be.
Hey, I love that.
Probably some of the best advice I've ever gotten.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So so home, Claremore just had that place. It had that heart that made you feel like where you felt to go. And I think you get to experience, like I said, you get to experience those different things. Like you had said earlier to me, we were kind of talking, it kind of makes you appreciate here a little bit more home and stuff. Me and my wife were out on a date last Friday. We went over to Gibby's and had some, oh my gosh, it was so good. Whew, I was so full. But we went over to Gibby's and then we went over to Walmart because I've been wanting a bird feeder. And so we went and bought a bird feeder. And the girl that checked us out, she was younger, 19, and there was a couple there checking out before us, and they were talking like they knew each other and things like that. And as I started to walk off, she hollered back, "I'll see you next week," to the girl at the cashier, there. And so she goes, my very first day I started working here, this couple came through, and I was having a hard day. It was my first day. I was just stressed. That was it. And they've come through every single week, every Friday, through my line and check out and check on me, see how I'm doing, things like that. She goes, yeah. And I said, well, that's what I love about this place. And she goes, oh, I hate it here. And I said, how old are you? And she said, I'm 19. I said, when I was 19 too, I really didn't like it either. I'll tell you that. I said, but I moved away and I came back and I love it. I said, you'll learn to appreciate it one of these days. And she kind of smirked. And, 19-year-old, they're like, yeah, whatever. Kind of one of those things. But it just has that feel like, just simple things like that. A couple that just goes to Walmart every Friday just to make, to check on that cashier to see how she's doing. Give her a little motivation, like little things like that.
I think we can all tell stories like that.
We got so many from just, I've met so many good people. And that's why, you do a lot of events here for, a lot of the nonprofits, things like that. They do a lot of events here with you guys and you work with that. And that kind of thing. So, you're putting that out there into the, to our community and helping that and giving them a beautiful place, safe place to come and have their meetings and enjoy themselves and do that kind of thing. And they're going out there and helping the community and doing that thing. So, you're playing a huge part in that. And so you're the type of people that we want on the show that show it. Hey, these are the people that are doing something great. They're working hard. They're doing something for our community. When it comes to like some of those nonprofits and stuff, like what are some of the ones that you guys have kind of worked with? Some maybe that you are more fonder of or things like that?
Well, I try to kind of spread the love.
Yeah.
So, when you put together a budget for a business, I have X many dates that I will donate to people. And, there are some people that I've donated to several years in a row. There are others where I try to kind of, rotate around and catch everybody and do what I can for lots of folks.
Yeah.
But, of course, SafeNet floats to the top of most everybody's list. It's such a good cause.
It's such a big influence and impact in Rogers County, Claremore area around here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do a lot of good stuff. If a lot of people don't know what they do, they're right over here. What is it on Olympia, I believe?
Well, over there behind the
by the
expo
center.
and everything.
Yeah, it's over there. They can use help. They always use donations. They can use everything because they're helping women get back on their feet.
They really are.
They're helping get their lives together. I've had personal friends that have used SafeNet for visitations, things like that, and all kind, stuff like that. And so they've really played a big part. I actually did the walk a mile in her shoes one year. Couldn't find high heels that were big enough for me to wear, so I just had to walk. But a big 13 size foot, there's not too many high heels out there. Probably nowadays there's probably more I could find, but this was back then. So it's a very important thing. And
Well, and you know what a lot of people don't realize is they're actually my neighbors here too, because Second Impressions is
that's right there. Yeah.
Right. So, their income stream is very dependent on sales that happen through the resale shop at Second Impressions, and likewise Thrift Harbor that's 2 doors down, they support a nonprofit, and Sensible Spending does too.
You're all right around, you got them all right around.
I do. And I mean, it is a shopping bonanza. And I can tell you that.
If you have old stuff you don't need, it's good shape, come and donate it. They can use it, turn around and sell it, and use that to help the community.
Absolutely. Kind of thing, But I mean, if you're into the vibe of, slow fashion and, the sustainability aspect of buying things and giving them a second life, all of those thrift stores, there's so many times that you'll go in there and find things that are brand new with the tag still on them. Yeah. So, I mean, I always encourage people to shop those places. It's quite an adventure. It's fun.
I love thrift stores. Like
Me too.
People, secondhand stuff is almost the best stuff because it's worn. It's not super tight. It's been worn out, it feels good. It feels comfortable. Yeah. It's like a comfortable shirt after,
there's a lot of good stuff in there for sure.
For sure. Yeah. So I posted on Facebook and I said, what are some questions that you might want to know? And I got a really good one from Julie Jones. She said to ask, what are your favorite types of events to do here?
Oh, wow. Well, everybody assumes that we do mostly weddings, which is not actually true. About 40% of our business is weddings or receptions. And then the rest of it is baby showers, bridal showers, rehearsal dinners, reunions, birthday parties. I mean, pick it, all the gamut of social events. Yeah. And then we do a fair share of like business meetings and nonprofit type things too. So, really hard to say what my favorite would be, but the commonality amongst all the things that I really like to do is they're all events where families are coming together. They're having a good time. They're typically celebrating something that's a big deal in their life. And so to work with somebody and make sure that big deal day is exactly what they want it to be. Yeah. I like doing that.
You like that. You get to experience that joy with them.
Absolutely.
You get to see it. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. I like that. I like to just do things for people or like that. And you just get that joy. You watch them happy, just smile or whatever it is. Or not even just doing it for them, just watching a little kid play. My kids play and they're just laughing and giggling. Yeah. It just, you get to feel that joy and absorb it. And it really does kind of bring that in there. So like we talked about a little bit how, it is a lot of work. You're working. So 290 events, sometimes 2 days, like that's nonstop. People don't realize that's nonstop.
It can be a lot. Yeah.
And I mean, one, I thank you for giving me a little bit of time here to do this podcast because I mean, you're busy. And, how do you like stay motivated to keep going and just, I mean, day after day after day? Because I mean, it does wear you down. You get tired, burned out, things like that. Like what motivates you to keep going?
Well, I'm really fortunate. I mean, I don't even think I'm anywhere close to burned out at this point because the variety of what I do and the people I get to talk to is so diverse, that you don't really get bored with it. Yeah. There's enough tasks that have to be done to keep everything on track here that, I mean, you're going to spend a little bit of time doing promotion and website and then some time doing contracting and other time mopping the floor and, putting an event together. And and this is all the stuff that I really like to do. It reflects so much of what I learned from my previous job, but it was kind of a high stress job. Yeah. And this is like, man, it's like icing on the cake.
It's relaxing.
It's a good time. Yeah, it really is.
So you're just like, that's what keeps me going. It's just, it's something different. Everything, if I do the same thing over and over again, I get, burned out real quick. So like I said, there's always something else going on. You've got to get this a little cleaning or making sure sound equipment is working, make sure this is going. You got to wear a lot of hats when it comes to it. So so it keeps you from just kind of getting burned out. Just that it's kind of that new get that new every day, kind of thing. So that's awesome. So, being in Rogers County, you guys have been here. You guys have been here 7 years, but you've, you grew up here, moved back, and like, what are some of your guys' favorite things to do, like with Rogers County area? Like some of your favorite places to go, things to do around here.
Well, so when my husband left active duty military, we moved here in 92. So I've lived here full time since 92, and prior to that, I was here in Claremore a lot. I didn't actually live here at that point in time, but my grandparents did a lot of their business here. And so all growing up, I had been in and out of Claremore a lot. Yeah. So, since we've been here, my family has a cattle ranch at Langley.
Mhm.
And so we're in the cattle industry and always have been. And so I'm very active on the fair board and very involved with things in the state of Oklahoma that have to do with youth and agriculture.
Awesome.
So do a lot of stuff with that. Have been on several state boards related to things like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And so still pretty involved in the county fair. And the county fair is kind of my baby
Your
pet
baby.
project. I love it. Yeah.
I saw you on the little sheet I sent out. You favorite place, Tulsa State Fairgrounds,
absolutely,
or Claremore State Fairgrounds. You love it. It's just I guess you like said, the smells, everything just kind of makes it what you're.
Well, I'm very privileged. I work on a board with 9 other people. All of us are elected to that board, and so that fair is our project to run every year, and it's a 12-month planning cycle. As soon as one fair's over, we start right back in planning the next one.
Start rolling around for the next one.
So there's no break in it. I mean, we work on that all year long, and over the course of the Thursday through Sunday that everybody's involved in the fair, and actually it goes back to Monday when you're getting the pre-work done.
But set up.
During the time period that visitors are coming to the fair, the estimate is that we have about 25,000 people that come and visit that fair, which is, a lot.
Yeah, a lot for a little town.
It is. It's one of the bigger fairs in Northeast Oklahoma. And then associated with it is a premium sale that provides prize money to kids who do well with their livestock. Mm-hmm. That money ends up going in those kids' college accounts or to fund their next animal project. Our premium sale is probably the biggest one in Northeast Oklahoma. Yeah. Last year, it generated $300,000 for those kids.
Some people that are from like Oklahoma or what is that?
So kids that have livestock projects. Mm-hmm. So, when everybody talks about, hey, I want to know my farmer, I want to know where, my animal protein products come from. The way those kids grow up and learn how to be ethical, ranchers, farmers, whatever, is they start out in 4-H and FFA. Mm-hmm. And so that's how they learn hands-on. Hey, this is good animal husbandry. This is what you do. This is how you take care of animals. Yeah. So then a lot of those kids go on as adults. They probably grew up in families that have got, ranches or farms or whatever. But if they end up in the livestock industry as adults, that's where they've gotten their foundational learning experiences.
Learned a lot from that.
A lot of that stuff you can't learn from a book. You have to learn it hands-on with an animal.
Yeah.
So that's why 4-H and FFA is full of animal projects. And so those kids show those project animals at the fair. And so the cream of the crop qualifies for the sale. And so the sale isn't actually, at least at the county level, the animals don't actually change hands. But the money that gets bid on those kids, that is prize money for them, that the community supports those kids. And that's what they use to invest in their next animal project, or they put it in their college fund.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So after, these kids have shown from the time they are, 4th or 5th grade up through a senior in high school, they've got a pretty decent college account. They've funded all these animal projects they've done all those years. So then, whether they go off to major in something agricultural in college or not, they've got a ton of good experience.
A lot of good experience. And especially nowadays, we kind of lost that.
Yeah.
Me and my wife were actually talking about this, and we, kind of lost that generation where we stopped learning from our parents and grandparents, kind of stopped with our generation. And so you don't get, taking care of an animal or doing those things and getting hands-on. There's a lot of things that I did as a 9-year-old that there's no way I'd let my son go out and do because he just doesn't have that common sense and doesn't have that built, that ability. I grew up out in the country. We ran around, we'd go fishing 2 miles away, by ourselves, with a BB gun. And there's no way I'd let my 9-year-old go fishing by himself with a BB gun. Now, it's something we don't learn. So it's very important to learn those, hard work and how to be able to sustain yourself and do those things. Yeah, that's really cool. So that money, they get to do that auction. So you said they don't exchange hands. Are they just bidding? Do they end up buying that animal later on? They come back to pick it up?
No, it feels like an auction. So it feels like a sale, but at the county level, at least in Rogers County, it's what's called a non-terminal sale, which means the animal does not change ownership, because all the animals from our county fair go to the Tulsa State Fair. And so at that sale, if the kid makes the sale there, that is a terminal sale.
So Rogers County, these people are basically just donating because they watch these kids work hard.
Yep.
They watch them get out there and do it, and give everything they had. And so they're donating that money to them to help keep going on. And then, like you said, go on to Tulsa and have that chance to win more prize money and to be able to do that premium sale there and make more money off of it. That's amazing. See, I didn't even know that's how we did here in Rogers County. I've always heard, sales and then they go and you get your money and there you exchange hands. That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Well, it's absolutely incredible at a county level to have a sale as big as ours is, because as I said, last year the sale was $300,000 and that got split amongst 89 kids.
Wow.
And our overhead on that sale is like 3%. I mean, we
almost nothing.
Yeah. I mean, enough to get our tax return prepared and feed everybody a dinner that comes to the sale. That's about it.
Yeah.
But, those people are largely people in the agricultural community. They're investing in the future of their industry because they're making sure those kids get those hands-on animal experiences that either convince them, hey, I want to stay in agriculture, or if they already know they're going to stay, it teaches them the things that they need to know. Because like I said, you can't learn that from the book.
No, you can read a book all day long, and it's not until you get out there. It's all different. It's, I always tell people there's book smart, and then there's things you just got to learn.
Walking around smart.
You just got to figure out. It's different. It's different than common sense too. It's something that you just learn from those things. And we were. It was funny. We were talking about that. How our generations have kind of stopped. We don't really learn from like our kids. Don't learn like I'm at fault at this. I don't sit down and teach my kids how to change a tire. My dad was out there when he was changing a tire, and I was my son's age. He was showing me what to do, and by the time before I even knew how to drive, I could change a tire.
Right.
Though I learned a lot from my grandparents. Like just said, I hung out with them all the time. We kind of lost that.
Yeah.
We're losing that kind of thing and learning how to do things. We live in a life that's everything's just so easy now. Fast food's easier to get. Phones, we can order anything and it'd be at our door by that afternoon, so kids don't get that to learn, the working through it and things like that. So I really do like that. I didn't realize like all that was going on behind it. So I'm kind of glad we dug into it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, let's talk about, there's some kind of, the differences, maybe misconceptions of like renting like a small facility, a venue, things like that compared to like a hotel or things like that. Like what are some kind of like the things that people don't realize that, you can do here? Like you said, baby showers, things like that, but other things that may be a little bit different that, like you said, maybe a little bit of learning curve and things like that. If they're wanting to get an event and kind of be prepared, like what are some things that, they should kind of expect?
Well, a lot of what happens here is if you could think of it like, hey, okay, this is my private space for the time that I've rented it. So it's a lot like my home in that I can design the party to be the way I want it to be. There's not going to be other people in the building at the same time that I'm there. So you've got the privacy. And we work with all of our clients to lay the room out the way they want it. And so, of course, it's the same basic furniture, but we arrange things and redecorate for every event that rolls through here so that it's personalized. And then, of course, people can bring their own things in too. But then beyond that, there's some rules of the road that are a little different at a venue than they are at a restaurant. For instance, at a restaurant, because they're selling you the food and beverage that they have in stock. You're not looking at hiring a caterer. So, that choice is already made for you if you go to that place. And, they've already got a bartender on staff and an in-place liquor license for that establishment. Whereas here, we don't have that. Now, you can bring alcohol here and have it served. You just have to hire a bartender to have that done.
Yeah, it has a license for it.
Yeah, and that's a liability protection both for our client and for us, but it's also the law. I mean, you got to
follow the law.
And Oklahoma is very serious about liquor laws, so we have to pay attention to those things.
I remember just when we were down here, how much it's changed since it was a music venue. We had a lot of pushback on alcohol through here and stuff like that. Yeah. So, I spend a lot of time explaining things like that. And it's just as a protection for my client. Oh, no.
If you're hosting a party and you're going to have a whole bunch of people here, everybody needs to be doing what's in the rules so that, what would otherwise be a great occasion doesn't get ruined by, something unfortunate happening.
Somebody over serving, things like that they don't know what they're doing. Bartender knows what they're doing. They know what to look for. They know that kind of thing. Yeah, for sure. So, like I said, you can get that personable feel. I think, like, I know whenever we had our wedding here, we had it set up where we got married literally right across from where we're sitting. We had the tables lined up kind of at an angle, and I got to watch my wife walk down these gorgeous steps that people don't realize. When you walk in, you come up behind these steps and you come in here and you see this, and it's gorgeous. And not only that, my gorgeous wife is walking down it, coming towards me. And so, this place is just, I don't know if they realize, if you can hear the sound's going to sound a lot different on this podcast because we are in a very big this is a vintage room. This is a vintage building. It's been here for a very long time. It's
1913.
1913. It's over 100 years old. It's over 110 years old. And I mean, it's still gorgeous. You guys did do a lot of work when you guys came into here because it didn't look like this whenever it was us. And I know they did a lot of different things. I mean, I know they had some mirrors on the walls and things like that. We had a huge stage right over here, and the stairs were facing the opposite direction. We had a sound booth right there. Like, you guys did a lot of work. You guys have an apartment up there that people can get ready for events and things like that. That apartment set up there unfinished because I didn't finish it like I was supposed to for the longest time. That was my fault.
Oh, okay. That was your project.
That was my project that I never finished because I was so busy. But you guys put a lot of work into it, right? Like,
well, I'm so fortunate.
You had a lot of help.
Amen to that. So very fortunate. So I have two very good friends who, those two boys have more business ventures than you can shake a stick at. And this is now one of them. But at the point in time when, I had started making a comment or two about, being tired of traveling and wanting to be able to work closer to home. And so they called me up at Thanksgiving one year and they said, "Hey, we found this building downtown. Come look at this." So I came walking in here and it looked so different than it does now. And I mean, she needed a facelift.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, what do you think? Could we make a venue out of this? And I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Oh. But, we kind of studied on it a while and sure enough, got to thinking that, this would work. So my friends, Brian Courtney and Tommy Duncan, they have a business called, well, they have several, but they all go by the name Duncor. So Duncor Properties bought this building. Duncor Events operates 320 on Main. So I teamed up with them. And so they started working on the building. And I mean, these guys have full-time jobs, jillions of projects. And they were down here like, from 9 o'clock at night till 1 and 2 in the morning. Yeah. From November around to March.
I said, you guys were in here like right up to the beginning of March.
Oh, absolutely.
We were in here looking at it and you had guys on ladders.
Absolutely.
People don't realize how high this ceiling is. It's very high. They're up there on top of the ladders, messing with the water, the lines, making sure everything was good. Yeah, you still had people going.
Yeah. But they would be down here working and they'd call me and it'd be like midnight, 12:30. Hey, what are you doing? Well, I'm in bed. Oh, well, hey, you need to put some clothes on. You got to come down here. We got to show you something. And I'm like, really? Now? Yeah, you got to come. Because, I mean, that'd be like noon for them, So I'd come down and one night they had uncovered all the original brick that's up there at the front of the building. And we kept thinking that we'd find brick in here. And we knew that this building it was divided into thirds at one point. So I'm in the middle third of what used to be a big building. So we don't have any exterior walls on the sides, but we've just got that old exterior brick up there on the front. So the rest of the brick that's in here, we put it in to match what we found up there. And, trying to keep things in here that were, attractive, that were in context with the building's history, that, were right. But they were so excited when they found the brick wall.
I was too. When you guys posted pictures of that and I saw that, I was like, I mean, again, this place is special to me. And I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh, that was there the whole time. And I didn't even know it was there.
Right.
And then you guys put you guys didn't put the windows in. That was before you guys, the dance studio put the windows in right before you.
Yes.
So, and even adding that light to it, like it was dark up there. It was, and they added those onto it. So that gives it a lot of light in here too now.
It was. And, we had a challenge in that, this is a very long, narrow building. So kind of like a shoebox, it gets pretty dark here towards the back. Yeah. So not only did we turn around the stairs to a different direction, but we took out a third of that second floor up there to move it back to let more light in.
Yeah. And you can definitely tell.
Yes, you can. I mean, it made a big difference.
Yeah. And it's still plenty of room up there. Still plenty of room up there. And I mean, it's such an inviting little area.
Yeah.
It really is. So, but yeah, I can tell you guys put a lot of heart and a lot of work into it. And I do appreciate that. I know there's a lot of people around here that do appreciate it because we are losing these buildings and they're starting to deteriorate. And we now are starting to get people that are coming in and they're noticing that, there's a lot of potential here.
Right.
And they're putting that time and that money and their effort into it. And I really think that downtown is going to be one of those places.
For sure.
I know I've talked about this in the other podcasts and things like that, but you're a business owner here, right, downtown. We've got this new big amusement park going in over here in Veneta. They're working on, and my thinking is we're going to have a lot of tourism. We're going to have a lot of people coming in from Tulsa because they're going to be flying in. This is going to be one of the largest, theme parks in mid-America, mid-America here, and it's going to be huge. Mm-hmm. My thinking is we have 66 that goes literally right down the middle of our city, our town, right through it. And people are going to want to travel 66 just because of what it is, because it literally will take you all the way there.
Right.
So why would they not? There are going to be people renting cars and coming through here, and they're going to be coming through our city. They're going to be seeing our downtown. They're going to be seeing all this. And I really feel like we're going to have a huge boom because people aren't going to want to stay. We're 45 minutes away. It's not that far. People are going to want to stay here instead of there. Mm-hmm. Things like that. So I think our small businesses are things where people are going to see, hey, this place is pretty good. Mm-hmm. And we might see some more growth around here too. Right. I just think there's going to be a lot of boom. So I think I really love seeing the facelift on downtown and things like that. And like you said, there's stuff coming that, we've got great leaders and stuff on the board for Main Street. Mm-hmm. And they're doing a lot of work and they're working hard to give it a facelift, make it look like, because we've got a lot of communities around us that have done the same things and kind of facelifted their downtowns, like Broken Arrow, Owasso, things like that. And we're slowly getting there. We got the music playing. We've got, got benches out there. It's a very welcoming. There's a lot of stuff to see. Right. I mean, you've got, there may be antiques, 2 or 3 antique stores, but these antique stores do not have the same stuff.
No, they don't.
They don't. It's like it's every corner is like a new store, around here. So there's plenty to see. You've got the Feckle French across the street here. You've got Crooked Roots. You've got Flowers. They have all kinds of stuff at the Feckle Finch over here. So, there's a lot to look at.
For sure.
A lot of boutiques. Yeah. We got Great One next door. Mm-hmm. Vintique Charm. I've known Sheila for
that's what she told
years.
Me. Yeah.
I knew Sheila before I even when I worked at the bank. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was a single crazy kid running around trying to get people to open bank accounts. Mm-hmm. And I met her when she was first opening, and we just became buddies. And she was always there for me. She always was one of those people that had her wing over me. If I needed something, she'd ask me. And there was a time in my life where I literally had no furniture and I was literally just sleeping on the floor. And, she bought me a couch. She bought me a TV. She bought me, we went over here behind us and she was like, pick what you want. We got it. And I still have the pillow that she gave me from the store whenever she did that too. It says blah, blah, blah on it. And it's still in my office.
Well, that's Sheila for you. She's a good one.
Yeah, we've got really good people here, and I'm not have to talk up Sheila and all that, but just to insinuate the type of people we have here, especially in downtown, and what they're working towards and working towards making it better. Our officials, our council members, our mayor, they are our city manager. They're not only working for right now, they're working for the future. Yeah. That's what they're planning right now. They're not looking they know we can't just fix it overnight. And so they're putting things in there in place that are going to be beneficial over time, not maybe, for our kids' generations and that thing. And so they're working hard for it. And I really think we have a lot of great people that
absolutely
are just in charge and running Claremore and doing these things, because I've seen it where we had the good old boy system. I've watched it and, and I'm a pretty honest person when it comes to those things. I would tell you, I don't like what they're doing there. Mm-hmm. I would say that, but I honestly do. I think that these are the group of people and the people that are over Main Street, things like that. These are the type of people that are ready, that want to do something around here. And I think this is time that we start to grow and we start to build this before we have this big boom. If we all come together and start doing, as Claremore, as Rogers County, as we all come together, we'll be unstoppable.
Oh, yeah. Well, and what's really fun about downtown, and I think a lot of people don't realize it, is that almost everybody that's down here as a business owner or manager almost all of them are like on a second career. So they've all done something else. And so now here they are, downtown Claremore doing something different, you know. So like, my two careers are related, but I mean, gosh, there's people up and down this street who have worked for big corporations, who have done all kinds of different former careers and bring great experience to it. And then when you add that with, everybody's got a unique vision of what they want to offer to the public and, what their passion is about their business. So there's a lot of variety down here. And then even when you get into the antique malls, what people don't stop to think about is, that building in that antique mall's got an owner. For instance, Chelsea and Matt Mize with, Cranberry Merchant, but they've got, I don't know how many different booths in there, 80, I want to say, but I might be wrong about that. But every one of those people is a small business entrepreneur who's got their own business. Some of them have booths in Claremore and other places too. But, even the ones that Claremore is where my booth is, I mean, they've made a decision, an active choice to come be in business in downtown Claremore. So, the other antique malls, likewise, they've got all kinds of people too. So, I mean, gosh, I'd have to sit down and think about it for a minute and ask some friends to tally up how many people are in business down here in downtown.
How many actual business owners?
It's a bunch.
See, I never even thought, I didn't really think about that till the long term. You think about that. Each one of these buildings has multiple. Yes. A lot of them do. So that's a lot of business. I know like FTW, my friend Luke and Lori, they have one in a booth in the Hoover Mall over here across, because they have so much stuff that doesn't fit in their store. So they rented a booth. So they have, they're putting that extension off of their arm there to have that there too. So that's really cool. I didn't think about that. So when people are coming down here and you're shopping and stuff, you're not just supporting that one storefront.
Exactly.
You're supporting lots of little business owners at home that are trying to make the dream that reality.
Yes.
So we're in an area a time where it's hard for business owners to keep going and run and things like that. And that helps out with, overhead. They don't have to have that overhead for a storefront. They don't have to have that. They can be able to rent that booth and they're good.
And the variety of business models down here, for instance, like Sheila has a strong online presence and several other people do as well. And then you've got the nonprofits that are the direct beneficiaries behind all the thrift stores down here. And those are all excellent missions.
Yes.
And those profit streams for those nonprofits are very, very important to them. And then, you've got people like Kathy Glover and like the Callisons at Pick and Queen. They all do a lot of big shows where they go do a Fair of the Heart or whatever, and then come back to their brick and mortar home here on Main Street. So each one of those is a very different business model. And, like for me, I have different caterers, photographers, different vendors in here for every event that comes in. And then, my hope is always that, my average event size is probably 60 people, but the range can be, 120 down to 30. But, on any given month, we're bringing several hundred people onto the street. And I'm always telling people, hey, go shop when you get done or go shop before you come.
Come in early.
It just gets people down here on the street.
Yeah, definitely. That's something that, other people might not think about. Come in early. If you got an event, you've got pizza right here. You've got,
absolutely.
You've got Main Street right around the corner there. So you've got plenty to eat. Come walk around, take a look at the stores. Yeah.
And I send people all the time, they'll wrap up an event about 10 o'clock or so. And I'll say, okay, now you can go to Cabin Boys or Main Street Tavern and you can go finish the rest of your night there.
Go have some fun over there.
And they do that a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think another thing is, we've got a bookstore here and, we've got, we have a couple. We have
two bookstores, one in both directions.
We have two bookstores, which is insane because bookstores are dwindling down, which should go check these bookstores out. They've got some great stuff.
And they're so different too.
They're very different, very different. So, and also I know they do a lot of, reading and drinking down there, but Cabin down there, because they're right next to each other. So they do little events together, things like that. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on.
And even amongst the boutiques, if you shop all the boutiques, every owner has a different viewpoint, a different,
store setup a little bit different.
A different vibe on the fashion that they're picking. And so, you can figure out which one kind of resonates with you, and everybody's a little different.
And I know a couple, like Sheila works with a lot of the boutiques around here too, with helping the shirts, things like that, whatever it is that they're selling as well. And so, they're working together. And it may be the same type of business, but this is my whole thing of it. It doesn't matter if we're in the same type of business, doesn't matter what it is. We can all work together and
absolutely.
And grow.
And that's an absolute strong point down here.
That because I know Sheila and Jamie both.
Yes.
Jamie uses Sheila a lot. And
absolutely.
I've known Jamie for years. She used to cut my hair before she got too busy and couldn't.
That's what she told me.
Yeah. She used to cut my hair for a very long time, and then she just got too busy. And I'm like, I'm a spur of the moment person. I can't like book my haircut 2 weeks out. And you're like, yeah, okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'm like, you know what? I need a haircut today. And I get up and go get a haircut. So, but she still does my mom's hair. Yep. She still does my wife's hair from time to time when she goes out and gets her hair done, stuff like that. So they put in a lot of that community as well. So you talked about, a little bit, you work a lot and things like that, but you got some free time. You said you like to work with the FFA, the 4-H and all that, FFA. And you got the cattle ranch. Is that like what you guys like to do on the free time? Do you guys spend out there? Do you have other things that you guys like to do on your free time? Or is it just kind of holding down the fort at the ranch? With the free time.
So my whole family's involved in the ranch, and it's been in our family since 1907. So my older daughter and her husband live on the ranch. Okay. They manage the cattle day to day. And then I have another daughter and son-in-law that live here in town. But there are days when all of us are up there doing things together. Yeah. But, I've kind of graduated. I like to refer to myself as a rancher emeritus at this point.
There you go. Yeah.
So, I do things like go to cattle shows and, make sure the kids are fed, and I'm there, to cheer them on and all like this. Same for their sporting events and stuff. But, I like to tell people that I've graduated from doing some of the really hard stuff that gets you like super filthy dirty and it's really hard.
Well, now you got a lot of hands to help you out.
I'm older. I should be able to do that now.
You've raised them to work now. Go do it. Let me, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and like, so with the free stuff, you're doing that, like, what do you like to do outside of, like, you and your husband, things like that? You guys have things that you like to do outside the ranch, outside the venue?
So I have 4 grandkids. So lots of sporting events. Yeah. So we are into football, lacrosse, and t-ball.
So just literally.
Yeah. So we're all the sporting stuff. And then my 2 older grandkids both show livestock. So lots of stuff going on there. Yeah. So
basically, your free time is spent with your family.
But that was by design. I mean, when that
was what you're kind of wanting.
Exactly. When I left my former job, I actually made the decision to cut bait on that in 2020 because I just was like, no, I'm not doing COVID and international travel. Just not going to happen.
Yeah,
not
so
happening.
Much work.
Yeah. So at that point, I just came here. We'd already had this place open at that point, but I just decided that doing a venue and being a meemaw was going to be my deal, and that's what I do. And the fair is probably my biggest hobby. And I stay plenty busy.
You stay plenty busy.
I do.
So the free time is really not free time. It's just just do things that you do that you love. You got to pick that free.
I do.
You got to pick that free time and structure it the way you want it to. Exactly. That's a good way of saying it.
Keep it all in balance.
Yes. So we are here down on Main Street, and that being said, there's a lot of trains.
Yes.
We can actually hear one going by right now. I don't know if you can hear the microphones, but we can hear it. The funny thing is, a story. One time I was outside talking to a band member who was from another state. We were out there talking, and a train comes by, horns blaring. I did nothing. I just paused. I quit saying, like, right in the middle of my sentence, stopped for a second, let it go past this one, let it go past the other one, and then started my conversation again. And he goes, wait. What was that? And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you guys live with that sound? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and literally you just stopped, paused, and then just continued your sentence afterwards like it was nothing. And I said, I honestly didn't even notice it.
Exactly.
But it's just, I was like, that's just what we do here. You just stop for a second.
Yeah, it's a train.
Let it do its thing. And I think it's kind of weird if I don't hear trains at night. I'm so used to it now that if I go to choir, like living out in the country or other places, I'm like, it's not right. I got to hear a train. Yep. But that being said, we get stopped a lot. So, and people complain about it. But you know what I like to do? I like to turn up the music, just kind of enjoy things, relax, and talk to the people that we're with. We don't have to focus on the road and put it in park. So we call this the train track crossing. We're going to go through and we're going to spit out some questions for you, just super this or that answers.
Okay.
And just get to know a little bit about you, a little bit, some of the sillier questions, things like that. And so we're going to start with that. And we're going to go through here and just give your answers there.
Okay.
All righty. So, all right. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. Yes. Cats or dogs?
Oh, man. Can I say both?
I mean, you can.
I can.
Yeah.
I have 2 dogs and 6 cats.
6 cats. Well, I mean,
they're working animals.
Yeah. I'll say people don't realize on a farm they are.
Well, and even
at home, they're keeping.
Listen, man, I live here in town, but I have a 5-acre lot where I live.
Oh, so
I do not have snakes at my house anymore because I have cats that catch them and kill them.
Cats are very good.
They are.
Pest control. I'm just
know.
saying right there.
Just got to have
I was in pest control for 10 years. So yeah, it's very good pest control.
Yeah.
So both.
Both.
Yeah. All right. Beaches or mountains?
Mountains.
I already I figured that one.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pizza or burgers?
Burgers.
Burgers.
Beef.
Beef, of course. It's like clearly it's running through your veins, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Book or movies?
Oh. Book.
Book. All right.
Audio, though.
Audio.
Uh-huh.
You like to hear just.
I do. I mean, I don't even know what I did before audiobooks, but I listen to more audiobooks because I can listen to it while I'm doing stuff in here.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, books. There you go. I like that. Audiobooks. Mm-hmm. Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
All the way. Summer or winter?
Oh.
Around here, they have their ups and downs.
Can I say fall?
Yeah.
Okay, fall.
Fall's a good one.
Fall's the best.
All right. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Savory. Fiction or nonfiction?
Nonfiction.
Nonfiction. Favorite childhood cartoon?
Oh, The Jetsons.
The Jetsons. It's a good one. Introvert or extrovert? A little mixture of both.
A little bit of both.
I think I could see a little mixture of both in there.
A little bit of both.
Got your times where you just want to be by yourself.
Yes.
You're like going out to the ranch. We're going quiet. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Comedy or dramas?
Comedy.
Favorite superhero?
Oh, crud.
If you have one.
My grandkids would all just say that I failed completely. I don't know. Batman, I guess.
Batman? Hey.
Yeah.
Classic. It's a good one.
It is.
You can't go wrong. I already know the answer to this one. City life or country life?
Oh, country.
Yes. Music or podcasts?
Oh, dang. That's a hard choice.
I know.
Podcast, probably.
Yeah, it's a hard choice for me too, because music's a huge part of my life.
Although I have found one that is, what do they call it? Biscuits and Jam. It's the editor from Southern Living.
Oh, yeah.
And he mixes the two.
Music and podcasts.
Yeah,
See,
they talk about all things Southern to include music, and it's great.
See, I need to add more music, I think, because music makes everything better.
Mm-hmm.
It really does.
Agree.
You can sit there and talk, but if you add music to the background of it, it sets a whole mood.
Mm-hmm.
You can make it sad, you can make it happy, you can make it exciting,
right.
Scary, intense. The music does it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that. We might start incorporating more music into this podcast right here. Good. All right. Are you an early bird or a snooze button?
Snooze button.
Snooze button. I was a snooze button this morning. I was going to wake up at 5:30 and go out there and watch the rocket coming in, and because there was one coming into orbit, and there to see it. It was really cool. I saw pictures of it, but my alarm went up at 5:30, and I said, "No, I'm not getting up. I don't want to do it." And so I was like, "I'll look at pictures later." Yeah, I'm the same way. All right. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Oh man, I would like to be like Samantha from Bewitched.
Yeah, like a little wit.
Yeah, just do my nose and like the room's clean.
That would be
awesome.
Great.
Yes.
That's not a bad one. Yeah. Favorite vacation destination?
Colorado.
Good old Colorado. Rocky Mountains. Yeah. Good old. Yep. I'm seeing John Denver in my head right now. That's why it took me a second. my grandma, she was a big John Denver fan. So yeah. All right. This was like my favorite question, but everybody gets stumped on it. So we'll see. Were Ross and Rachel on Friends on a break?
You're just going to die when I tell you this. I've never watched that show.
You've never watched an episode of Friends. See, I'm running into this. Mm-hmm. People, I guess I'm like, I just thought everybody in the world watched Friends. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm just in my own little Friends bubble. But nobody, like Coach Hurt, he was like, I don't know. My whole family watches it religiously, but I don't know. And I'm like, man, I'm running into this question.
I mean, I've maybe watched half of one episode or something just because like I was in a hotel room with my kids or something. But no, I've never watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Out of sync.
One of these days, you should watch some of it. It's good. My wife got me to watch it, and I'm glad she did because I was like, no, yeah, I don't know. She's like, let's watch it, and then we watch it. Now we've watched it. My wife's behind the camera, by the way, people. So if you're wondering who I'm talking to, yeah, she's behind the camera. She can't see her. She waved. She didn't want to be. She was going to be a co-host. She didn't want to be on camera yet. She's still kind of a little bit nervous, but she wanted to be here with us. This is a very important place. What? You waving? But anyways, well, she was telling me, like, we got to watch Friends, we got to watch this, and we've watched it probably, I don't know how many times now, like the whole series, like 6-7 times now since we've been married. So yeah, it's one of those shows that we just kind of watch maybe once or twice a year.
Right.
And so yeah.
Well, I have things that I'm like that about. Like I've probably watched the first 2 seasons of Bridgerton, I don't know, 5 or 6 times each, I mean, I've got it all memorized by now, Hey,
it's a good show. That's another one she got me into that I was like, I don't know. And then I'm sitting on the couch. I'm like, now what is she doing? Who is this? And then I'm in it. Yeah. And then I'm like, don't watch any more episodes without me because I got to figure out what's going on.
Right.
All right. Well, the train's passed. We got that. So we're coming up on an hour here, which is, we're doing good there. So, what are some ways that, people can kind of get a hold of you guys if they're kind of interested in having an event set up or things like that? What are some ways that they can get a hold of you guys and get contact with you?
Absolutely. So people can just call, and if they want to see pictures to sort of get an idea, I purposely loaded a bunch of photos on our Google listing because it's really fast to scroll through them there. So you can see what a bunch of, previous events have looked like. Every Wednesday afternoon from 1 to 6, we have open house. And so on those days, you don't need an appointment. I'm here. You can just come in. You can look around. I'll leave you alone if you want to look. And then if you've got questions and you want to talk to me, you can.
So every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. And if for some reason I have a private event in here on a Wednesday, I always post it to Facebook so you can check Facebook before you come over.
Follow on Facebook. We'll have all your kind of links in there, email, all that stuff. People can go to the Facebook, start following you, that kind of thing, so they can kind of keep up and see the things.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Now, you guys post about, some of the Rogers County meetings you guys have here and things like that too. I've seen you posted on there and stuff like that.
If it's something that's open to the public, for sure.
I've seen you posted on there too. So, so it's good to keep up with that social media and kind of see what we got going on. So what are, before we start wrapping up things, what are some things you want people to know about, yourself, the venue, not just the venue itself, but yourself, about you, and about the venue itself too,
Well, so I always tell people, kind of the background story for me is, the fall before we started this, renovation and opened, my daughter was getting married. And so I had gone around and done the whole tour of all the venues in the Tulsa area. Yeah. So, typical of the way I do business, I have an Excel spreadsheet and I've got all the places we visited, all the features, what they offer, how much it costs. Yeah. So at the time I was shopping to do her wedding, but then very quickly, up comes this place and we start working on that. Well, that was then my basis for, okay, what did I not find at these other places that I felt like they should have? Who do I think was cost competitive or not? And that was the basis on which we structured our services, our prices, what we included in this place.
You were ready to go.
I was. And so what I was looking for was a place that sort of had a neutral but finished environment so that it's not a plain white box of a room that you have to decorate to death to make it look fun. Right. So I've got you halfway there. Yeah. But it's neutral enough that you can make it super casual. You can make it fancy. Either way, it doesn't take much to push it in either direction. But it's neutral enough too that, like if I pull out just some of the top line decorative stuff that I've got out, now you've got a really blank palette that you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can do what you want with it.
Yeah. So, and we tried to give it sort of a Joanna Gaines vibe. So, it's a good combination of modern versus historic. Yeah. So, nice place to start working with in terms of just your baseline. Yeah. And then what we do for people when they come in is, I'll sit and talk to people and say, okay, what's your event? What's your flow? What do you want it to be like? What all needs to happen? What's your budget? And I am very serious with people about, if you tell me a budget number, I'm going to tell you, okay, well, yes, our base rental fee fits your budget, but I'm not going to try to sell you all kinds of crazy stuff that you don't need that's not in your budget. Because I'm a real big believer in the day after an event, it needs to have been what you wanted and you need to be super happy with it. But part of being super happy is not going, oh my God, I put all this on my credit card and now I have to pay it. Yeah. So I work really hard to help people get everything that they want and be budget compliant.
So
So
that's all. You don't get that other places. It's usually you get structured. It's this much money. This is how it is. And if you want this, you got to get all this stuff with this. Yeah. So you guys you can do what they, kind of to certain reason, do what they want, kind of decorate it, make it feel, if you want it to feel like a little kid's birthday party, you can have balloons.
Oh, listen, I've had a blow up castle in here before.
A blow up castle in here. I believe it. Yeah.
And it fits just fine. And I've got a vendor that I can call and she can set you up a play yard.
I can tell you from I'll be honest, I wasn't super involved in the planning of the wedding. I had,
it's probably smart, actually.
Yeah, it was the best because I'm one of those people that go, before the wedding, I go, oh, we don't need to spend the money on that. We don't need to spend the money on, those kind of things. But, working with you guys was very smooth. It went very well. Even for the first event, it went smooth. It went great. We had a great time. The layout was great. We've got great videos. We got great pictures. The place is just gorgeous. And it was just, you worked with us. We had it set up like we wanted. We, it ran very I don't remember running into any snacks throughout the wedding. You guys really just made it easy.
Well, that's what we like to hear.
We could enjoy. Afterwards, I was glad that that my in-laws and my wife had talked us into doing things and getting this up because I had such a great time. We didn't worry. We literally just had fun. And that's what you were talking about. That's the important part of it. Doing birthday parties, things like that for your kids, it's stressful. Yeah. We figured that out. I told people, I was like, no wonder my parents didn't like doing birthday parties. Exactly. It's crazy. Yeah. But that's just the one thing, one less thing that you guys are helping take off that plate because you guys are easy to work with and you are, here and you're want it to be the best event that they have. Right. You want them to feel that joy and celebrate. And and I can tell you from firsthand, that's the kind of that's the kind of person that you are. That's kind of what you want. And you're just talking to you and people can hear that in your voice. I can see it in your face, when you were talking about that earlier, that joy and things like that. So definitely, people need to come check you out. I was talking to Miss Claremore the other day and her mom. And so she was like, we're wanting to do a little tea party for the kids and stuff like that. She's like, so if you know a venue or a place like that. And I was like, well, actually, they're 20 on Main. I was like, perfect spot. Yeah. And she was like, oh, really? Yeah. I was like, yeah, right on Main Street, perfect place. It's that spot where, people ask me, where's a good spot to have an event or this or that? And I'm like, 320 on Main would be perfect. It's right downtown. Thanks. You got plenty of, there's plenty of parking around here. There's everywhere. You've got, so plenty of room for the events. And usually, afternoon, downtown clears up anyways. So it's wide open. So lots of room to do things and do that and take that one less stress off you, let you do that. So, I want to say thank you so much, not only for being on the show, but for all the hard work that you've put into this building and the love that you put into this building. What? Okay. All this, anyways, put a lot of work into this and I appreciate that. This town is special to me. This place is special to me. Yeah. And it really does make me emotional. When I get in here, it just brings back a lot of memories, a lot of happy thoughts of, because I met my wife here.
Yeah. Oh man, that's right.
I met my wife here and we got married here. Yeah. So it's it is just very, very special. So I thank you for all that. And I thank you for everything you do outside of this place, working with the fair, things like people don't realize the work that you guys are doing to make that a success.
Well, like I said, I'm very privileged to work on a team of people that are super serious about that and do a great job.
So thank you to all you guys. Thank you for all that you do in Claremore. And guys, if you're looking for a place to come, come and check it out. Give her a holler. We'll have all the links in there. You guys can get a hold of her, set up an event. We're going to be doing a podcast with Ms. Claremore and talking. So once we get things situated and things like that, we'll be announcing the tea party and things with her about that and stuff. So we can get that talked about. We'll do some videos and things like that with her as well. So if we have her here, we'll make it all nice and cool stuff. So awesome. Well, thank you again so much for being on this show with us, Susan. And guys, come check it out. Wednesdays, if you're looking for a place to get married or the stuff, just come say hi. All right. All right. Well, thank you again. thank you guys for listening to another episode of I Never Met a Stranger I Didn't Like.